Hello everyone, welcome to Flowing with Angels. It's lovely to have you with me for another tarot and oracle card reading. Thank you so much for all of your love and support for the channel. For this reading, I've asked the angels for general guidance for the collective. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you listen to it, whether it is now in September 2025 or at a later date, there will be some angelic messages for you here. Let's have a look at the first few cards. The first card is the card of the Earth Mother, with the keywords Psychic Recharge, Grounded Healer, Mentor and Layers. We see Mother Earth's hand coming through the soil and reaching out to you. She is signaling you to pay attention to her energy and her presence in your life. It is easy to lose touch with the natural world, with all of the distractions and pulls of the world that you live in and the chatter in your mind. Mother Earth's message here is to settle down a bit and listen to her messages. Around her metaphorical hand we see little branches in green as well as in brown colors, which reminds me of autumn, the season that is almost here in the Northern Hemisphere. The spiritual energy of autumn is one of letting go, releasing what no longer serves you, but also one of evaluating the harvest of the previous year, appreciating what you have accomplished and all that you have received. But it is also about looking at how much you've grown. This is a time of great transformation, and it is important to reserve some time for introspection if you consciously wish to enter this new cycle. Otherwise, you might risk getting stuck in a repeating old cycle. The color of Mother Earth's hand is brown, which is the color of healing, nurturing, and creative potential. There is a message here of preserving your energy and reinforcing your personal power by tapping into the grounding and nourishing energy of the earth, working with and leaning into the natural cycles and the changing seasons. And I feel by looking at the card that when you do this, a metaphorical raven will appear, a messenger of the higher realms and of your own intuition. The energy of the raven will show you the way. It is a guide that will lead you through profound change, as well as a mentor that will help you with your process of self-reflection. The raven moves between the worlds, between the physical and the spiritual, and this points to the second card, called the Sanctuary of Light and Mugwort. This card points to the spiritual helpers of the earth plane, the elementals, the pixies and the dragons. Nature is alive, and it is supported by these beautiful earth energies, as are you. The natural world is so much more than what we can observe with our physical senses. There is wisdom, there is healing, there is transformational power and creative strength, and we are all a part of it. And we all have access to these energies. We see the leafy branches that we saw on the first card repeated on the second card, but this time there are many more, and they are lined up along a pathway that leads to a portal, as you can see on the card. And as they are now all green colored, I feel this is about new growth, about balance, renewal, and heart chakra healing. I love how there are fae and pixies dancing above the branches, and I can feel their excitement and joy over your journey, and over your opening up to their energy. The dragon in the right corner of the card feels like a protector and a guardian that watches over you as you are about to enter the portal. Dragons are powerful symbols of transformation, and they represent your heroic awakening and your immense growth at this time. This feels like not just any portal, it is a major one, an important one in this phase of your life. The sun, accompanied by the beautiful rainbow light that we see behind the portal, is beckoning you to keep moving forward. The sun feels like your authentic self and your personal inner power. your presence and your radiance, and this is where the journey is leading you towards. The rainbow is that promise of renewal, the beauty, joy, and worthiness that arise within you after your growing pains and challenges have subsided. And it has been quite the accomplishment, because when I look at the third card of the hedge, we see a similar path, but this path leads to a closed gate. The scales that seem to appear right before this gate remind me of the Justice card in the tarot. Something has to be brought into balance. Truths have to be acknowledged and brought to light. Integrity and sovereignty have to be restored before the gates will open. And we get a little bit more information on this process that you are in, or that you have gone through for the most part, when we look at the energy of Saturn in the 11th house. I've once heard someone say that Saturn is like the head teacher, who doesn't let you off the hook until you have learned your lessons. Saturn's energy is the catalyst for deep inner work, for wisdom, discipline, and patience to create that solid foundation, that grounded life structure for yourself, which was also Mother Earth's message that we saw earlier. When the energy of Saturn is placed in the 11th house, the house of community, but also of your aspirations and dreams, I feel that you are encouraged to look into your connections with others. And the word that immediately comes to my mind is boundaries, knowing where you end and another begins. Boundaries is also one of the key words on the last card. I feel like the thick hedge on the card, often used as a natural boundary fence in gardens, will transform in the beautiful, almost ethereal green branches that we saw on the previous cards. And this happens when you truly become your authentic and sovereign self. Because when you are rooted in your true self, you no longer feel the need to defend yourself, to chase or be chased, to comply to the demands of others, or to settle for crumbs instead of being loved and accepted as you are. Indecisiveness needs to make room for knowing and remaining in your power no matter what the opinions or reactions are from your community. I think this is a big karmic lesson for you. A release of guilt and a restoration of your innocence and purity, allowing yourself to choose yourself first, not from an egotistical point of view, but because by putting yourself first, you open up the well to your inner source of abundance, love, and light, which is connected to the divine source of all that is. And from that place, you have far more to give and share with the world than from hiding behind a mask or allowing yourself to be pushed and pulled by others. This renewed establishment of your authenticity and your sovereignty will attract healthy and mature connections into your life. People who will resonate with you on a higher soul level and who will inspire, love, and nurture you, as well as give you an honest feedback and speak their truth while honoring yours. And then we come to the other area covered by the 11th house, your aspiration and your dreams, which is once again connected to the self, your uniqueness, your special gifts and talents that you were meant to bring into this world. I feel what Saturn encourages you to look at here is your self-worth and your self-esteem, allowing yourself to become all that you can be and directing your life force and your energy towards what your heart sings for, what your heart is passionate as well as compassionate about. You are not dependent on others to do so, although your conditioning might have taught you otherwise. You can't do this, you can't do that, because you don't have the means, the knowledge, the skills. Those are all voices that you have internalized and that keep yourself small, when in fact you are encouraged to awaken your potential, as the card says, and to transcend these false fears and limitations. The hedge card also speaks of this in-between state, which feels like a transition period. When you are learning these karmic lessons and you are shifting your energy, you might feel lost and alone for a while, as the old crumbles and the new is only starting to arise. And that is why this reading speaks of such powerful, supportive and helpful energies, both from the earth plane and the spiritual realms. You are supported and loved, and you are encouraged by the angels to keep your eye on this portal with the sun and the rainbow light. We also see this beautiful higher energy confirmed by the runes. We have the Sowilo rune, which symbolizes the sun and all the goodness it represents, like warmth, vitality, energy, success, illumination and awareness. It is one big positive life force that is going to propel you forwards once you are ready to fully step through this portal of transformation. And you all will be at a different level in this process. Some of you might be right upon the threshold of this portal. Others of you will still be walking on the path towards it, and a few of you might have already stepped through the portal. But I do feel that this is a repetitive process as we continue to learn and grow throughout our lives. The ego always wants to compare and inflate, but we are all companions and travelers on the same road of life, and our journeys are unique to our souls and our soul missions. So with the Sowilo rune, abundant opportunities are going to be unfolding for you, that's for sure. You are going to reap the harvest of your inner work. You are going to feel better, lighter and more joyful with this beautiful energy. You have accomplished this inner balance and harmony. The scales have been balanced, so to speak. The next rune is the Tiwas rune, and this is the rune of justice, similar to the justice card in the tarot. This rune shows that you have come through the portal, or will be going through the portal successfully. You will be victorious, and you will emerge with a new sense of inner power and leadership over your life. You have grown through the lessons, and now you have become unstoppable, I think. Like an arrow, you will soar through the sky, and you will not miss your goals. You know how to set and keep your boundaries, and you know how to uphold your values and your inner truth. And I'm in awe of this reading and this wonderful message. It feels grand, it feels big. I've recently seen images in my mind's eyes of a dam that is holding back a lot of water until it finally bursts, and then all of the goodness and all that you have been working for and dreaming of will be flowing into your life as one big gift from the universe. You will not be able to recognize yourself and your life due to these powerful changes that have been taking place within and around you. Let's finish the reading with a few tarot cards and see what story they wish to convey to you. I love how we start the tarot card spread with the Fool and the Ace of Wands, which to me feels like you are entering the portal of transformation and embracing the energy of the sun and the rainbow light that we saw earlier. It is a passionate new beginning that arises from your reclaimed authenticity and sovereignty. You are ready to take on this new adventure and new creative opportunities. The portal is open and ready to receive you, and I feel that it is closer than you might think. The next two cards are the Seven of Pentacles and the Judgment cards that represent the pathway towards the portal, I feel. Every time you work through a karmic lesson with the Judgment card and you have faced your fears and limitations that arose from your inner waters, your emotions, you have grown and you have evolved towards this new state of being. The Seven of Pentacles is slow but steady growth, and this process was not something that you could rush because you had to dive deep at times and you had to take the necessary time to reflect. But the harvest is growing and almost ready to be brought in. The Ten of Swords combined with the Page of Wands feels like the transformation of the thick hedges that we saw in the previous oracle cards into those beautiful ethereal branches of green leaves that lined the pathway to the portal. The cycle of defending yourself and being pushed around, limited and treated unfairly by others, but also by yourself because you were not yet claiming your power and leadership over your life, is now over with the Ten of Swords. because you have installed natural boundaries by becoming your authentic self. And this frees the way for an optimistic and enthusiastic new start with the Page of Wands. In the last reading that I did with relationship guidance, we also had the Ace of Wands and the Page of Wands in exactly the same position. So this is a repeating message for you, and I suggest that you check out the previous reading if you haven't heard it already. The Ace of Wands is presented to you by the universe in the form of a portal opening up to you, and you are now able to grab it with the Page of Wands. You hold the wand in your hand and you are rolling with it, so to speak. You are filled with a fiery, adventurous and spontaneous energy, and you are excited about your new path forward. This reading promises a big shift in your inner and outer reality, and it is happening because you have been working and building towards it. You have prepared yourself to enter this gateway, so the angels now encourage you to take the leap and see what awaits you on the other side. And I have the feeling that it will be something bolder and bigger than you could ever have dreamed of. I get this vision now about something that one of our trusted viewers once mentioned in the comments, Vicky, joining hands and dancing together on the yellow brick road like in The Wizard of Oz towards this brand new beginning, which feels wonderful. And I think this is the perfect note to end this reading with. Thank you so much for being here. I feel very grateful and blessed to have been able to bring you this beautiful guidance from the angels through this reading. I'm sending you lots of love and light and many blessings as always. Until next time, namaste.